Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you ever wondered if your significant other is lying to you about where they've been? Or you ever went to go buy something, you just get that gut feeling like they're not telling you the truth? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to tell when someone is lying to you right after this. That was solid. Boom. One take Drake, mother. Are we good? Is it good right there? The focus on? What's up, guys? Dom the Hypnotist here, and today we're going to be talking about how to detect when somebody is lying simply by looking at their eyes. Now, some of you may or may not know about something called eye accessing cues. And what eye accessing cues are is when somebody is accessing information, they will either access information auditorily, in other words, what they can hear. They will access it visually, so what they can see, or audio digital by talking to themselves, or last but not least, kinesthetic, so remembering a feeling. Now, when somebody is accessing information, they could either be accessing something that actually happened that they remember, or they could be making something up or conjuring up or visualizing something that hasn't happened or hearing something that hasn't happened. I'm going to share with you how to detect which one of these is happening so that you can put it into place to see that person. And you already probably have that person in your mind, don't you? You're going to be able to see if that person right there, yes, them, if they're telling you the truth. Pretty much 90% of the population are what we're going to go over today. The other 10% would be just basically flipped. And there's ways that you can test that, which I'll go over here in just a sec. But first and foremost, one thing you want to know is when somebody is accessing information visually, they're always going to look up. Now, they're going to look up here, here, here. Anytime somebody's looking up, just automatically know, okay, they're accessing a visual memory. If they're looking to their side, like this here, they're accessing an audio memory. In other words, something that they heard or something that they said themselves. Seriously, I've never had a bad cookie. Have you? No. That's crazy. Or if they're looking down and to the left, they're talking to themselves. Or if they're looking down to the right, they're accessing feelings, memories of feelings that they had. If somebody is looking up and to their left, which would be your right if you're watching this video, they are accessing their visual recall. So in other words, they're remembering a memory that actually happened. And if they're looking up and to the right, your left, they are accessing visual conjure, or in other words, they're making up a picture in their head. Now, just because somebody looks up to the right away doesn't always mean that they're making something up, because sometimes when you ask somebody a question, they kind of will go like this because they can't remember, but then you'll notice their eyes will shift over here and then the memory will come back to them and they'll tell you what happened. So pay attention, just because somebody looked that way right away doesn't necessarily mean that they're making something up. If they're looking to their left, straight over to like the side where their ears are, they're accessing audio recall. So again, they're remembering something that they actually heard or something that they said themselves. If they're looking to the right, like that there, then they are conjuring up or they're making something up that they heard. Now again, if you ask somebody a question and they look like this and then they go like that, they're accessing, they're thinking, they're trying to remember and they can't really remember, and as soon as they go over here, they're accessing an actual memory. Again, if they look down to the left, they're accessing audio digital, or if they're looking down to the right, they're accessing their feelings. So whatever they felt in that particular memory. How you can test to see what somebody's IQs will do is you just simply ask them a question that you know is true. So in other words, you can ask them to remember a picture of something that actually happened to them. So you could say, hey, what did your room look like when you were a kid, right? And some of them might actually go like this, but then they're gonna go, and then they're gonna tell you what happened. If you want to see how they look when they make something up, you just simply ask them to picture something in their mind that hasn't happened. So you can say, hey, if you could have the dream house that you wanted, what would that look like to you? And they're gonna go, and they're gonna start to conjure up that idea or that picture in their mind, and then you'll know, boom, okay, this is where they look when they're making something up. Do the same thing if you want to ask them, hey, what did it sound like when you were at that concert? And they're gonna go, and they'll be able to tell you. Or you can ask them, what would the perfect song sound like to you? And again, they're gonna access their audio conjure. What's the word I'm looking for? Audio construct. Now, you might be wondering like why I'm even sharing this. And what I do as a hypnotist and a mental coach, a lot of it has to do with body language. And I need to get people to tell me the truth in order to get them to release certain negative emotions and limiting beliefs about themselves. So I can talk to somebody and just with a couple little things that they do, and maybe they say, oh yes, I'm over this particular thing, but I can tell physically they're not. I have to dive a little bit deeper, because if not, if I just take the first answer, then we're not actually gonna get to the root cause of whatever problems that are causing them. So that's how I use this. And again, guys, you can use this for yourself. When somebody is, you're going to buy a car and you kind of get a weird feeling about the salesperson and you want to just maybe ask him a question to see if he's going to tell you the truth or if he's going to start making stuff up, because we've all been there before where somebody just starts rambling and making something up. Now, I will put a disclaimer, guys. Should I put a disclaimer? No, it'll make it kind of not interesting. Or, so that is it, guys. What's up, babe? Babe, fucking up my shit.
Fuck up the cheat.
All right. What was I saying? Okay, the like, comment.
Test it. Leave a comment below.
Okay, yeah. Guys, do me a favor. Go out there, put this to the test right now. Just go, whoever the next person you see is, ask them a question that you know is the truth. See what happens with their eyes, and you're going to be amazed. And what I want you to do, when you do test it out, let me know what your results were. If it worked for you and you're like, wow, this is like magic, it works every time, great, tell me that. If you think it's all bullshit and you think it's not true, tell me that as well. But I will tell you this, if you actually do it, you're gonna be surprised that exactly what I'm telling you is exactly what's gonna happen. And if you need to, go back and listen to this again, take notes, and then go out and use it on somebody just to test it out. And then next time somebody you feel like they're lying to you, which they probably are, you can use this and that'll give you a little bit better understanding on whether or not they're making something up or telling the truth. So guys, if you like my content, send this to a friend. Send it to that one friend. You know that one friend, the one who's always complaining about her boyfriend lying all the time. Send it to her. Or your buddy who's always complaining about, man, my girl's always doing this and doing that. Send this to him. Maybe he needs it and maybe you don't. Send this to them. And again, guys, follow me on all social media and I'll see you in the next one.